This will be interesting. Let's go.
All right. So we came up with six awards. We wanted to be a little bit creative. We didn't want to do generic like, athlete of the year, football player of the year, basketball player of the year, and maybe that's the better route to go. But we wanted to be a little bit creative with these. They're not super creative, but we've got six awards we want to hand out. We got underdog of the year. We got most overrated of the year. We got moment of the year. We've got coach of the year, and that stems from the three of us. I mean, you two are still coaching. I retired after 20 years of coaching. Coaching is a huge part of our lives. So I thought it'd be fun to do coach of the year. And then we've got comeback of the year, and we've got um, surprise of the year. Now, we're all going to give our own award for all six of these. Um, for those viewing, probably a lot of these will end up being sports related, but there's no requirement for them to be sports related. They don't have to be a person. They can be a situation. They can be a team. They can just be something, something that happened. Um, so let's start with underdog of the year. Trent, who was your 2024 underdog of the year?
I went with Arizona State football.
Okay.
I thought they just came out of nowhere and they've been kind of historically not very good. And this year it was a big change for them. And they kept surprising me every week because I would think like, oh, they'll probably lose to Kansas State and then they blow them out or like some half decent teams. So I would go with Arizona State.
All right, that's a good one. And then Big Mo, who was your 2024 underdog of the year?
Underdog of the year. I'm gonna go a golf situation. So Nick
Okay.
Dunlap,
Whoa.
amateur,
Oh,
amateur golfer,
Okay.
amateur golfer, wins at the American Express Cup
let's
for
go.
tours. So first amateur win in decades.
Yeah.
Um, just
Nice.
yeah, yeah, I think that, and when you think about just coming out of nowhere and just like being able to win a PGA Tour event,
Yeah.
you're an amateur.
Yeah, you don't even get paid.
Yeah, well, you get paid for yeah, and he made his mark, right? Made a mark. Probably has a chance to get on the tour a little bit more. So, um, congrats to him.
All right. I went with I went with someone who we talked a lot about on this channel over the summer. Um, I think that was great content talking about this person over the summer. It got us a lot of views on our videos that we put out over the summer. Summer is a little bit slower for sports, so this person again provided us a lot of good content, a lot of good discussion on the channel. That person is Caitlin Clark. You may be saying, how is she an underdog? She was awesome. She was a phenomenal college player. Like, why would we think she's an underdog? Well, again, let's go back to the functioning brain aspect. The three of us have functioning brains. So we watch Caitlin Clark and we see how awesome she is in college, and we say, okay, she is going to also be awesome in the WNBA. But Caitlin, not everyone, even though I do think a lot of people believe that, a lot of people would not want to admit that. This is a athlete who um, had a ton of hate. Um, people just didn't like her for no reason at all. Well, I think we won't dive into that because we don't want to get too controversial, but I think we know some of the reasons why people hated her. She took tons of hate from ESPN, other sports media, other players in the WNBA, and she overcame it all. She did struggle in the first few games of the season, and then from there, she went on to arguably an MVP type season. I think if you throw out those first few games, she probably would have had a more legit shot at winning the MVP. She did win Rookie of the Year. She led her team to the WNBA playoffs after winning, I believe, only like three games without her prior to her in the season before. And so my underdog of the year who overcame it all Caitlin Clark, WNBA player for the Indiana Fever.
Very nice.
All right, next award, most overrated of 2024. Trent, we started with you on the last one. Big Mo, why don't you start with you on this one?
Oh, most overrated, huh? Hmm. That's interesting. Most overrated. Um,
You want me to go?
well, I'm just gonna say it because I mean, obviously, I think most people probably have an idea or think it, but Angel Reese.
Yes.
I mean, uh, I was gonna try to come up with something kind of, off the cusp a little bit, but I think, again, I think she's helped grow the
Mm.
WNBA, and the viewership, and I think people have bought into the
Well,
idea that there's some type of what am I
rivalry.
thinking? Yeah, rivalry between her and Caitlin Clark and this and that, and I'm not really sure there is, but obviously, I mean, I mean, a great role player, probably a player that you would want if you were coaching a basketball team for how hard she plays and maybe how physical she can be. Um, but I'm not sure that translating is translating to be one of the top, you know, I don't know, 20 players in the league or something like that. So
Agree.
I'm going to go with Angel Reese, overrated.
I just saw something really funny. There was a little, it was a short or it was a reel or something. It was Angel Reese's peanut butter puff cereal. She's on the
Huh.
cover of a Reese's peanut. Did you see this?
It's like a whole bunch, like it's a TikTok trend right now, I think, or something like that. Where
Okay.
is it where they grab it off the shelf and they try to throw it into a basket?
Okay, that's I
Oh,
saw a different one. What
all
I
right.
saw
It's
was
really not even throw. They kind of lay it into the basket and it always misses.
what I saw is they opened the box and they got
Oh,
their empty bowl on the on the table and they
yeah.
pour the cereal in the bowl and they miss and it spills all
No,
outside the bowl.
I have not seen that one.
That
But
sounds
again,
about right.
like I think that helps her win. Like again, that's helping promote the WNBA. It's helping promote Angel Reese. Probably not in the best way, but again, it's a two-way street there. It's probably helping the WNBA build some brand or acknowledgement. Again, but probably doesn't help Angel Reese in the
It,
basketball sense of things.
and it brings a comedic relief if you watch some Angel Reese basketball games.
Oh, goodness
If you
gracious.
want to watch someone shoot a bunch of bricks and get her own rebound, tune
Hey,
into the Chicago Sky.
sometimes it's just
Uh,
all about the stats, baby. It's all about the stats.
Not
uh,
percentages,
not shooting,
just
not field goal percentage.
no, just the numbers at the end. Just the numbers at the end.
All right, Trent, who or what did you have for overrated?
I took Alabama football this year.
Wow, good one.
I just thought they kept being ranked in the top 10 just for them to be suckered into making the playoffs somehow. But like losing to Vanderbilt, scoring only 3 points against Oklahoma, and then losing to Tennessee, which was at Tennessee, which fair.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I felt like the media outlets were trying to hold on to Alabama as long as possible to try to still keep them relevant because they think they keep college football afloat. I think it's changed. I think it's a different. I think we're looking at different teams now that help keep college football afloat. So yeah, give me Bama.
You know what's interesting too about Bama is, you guys probably heard this as kind of a big story a couple weeks ago, where it kind of was revealed that Alabama does not have, at least at this juncture, a whole lot of NIL money. So if they
Oh,
don't have the NIL money, we may see them kind of start to fall off.
oh, wouldn't that be? I mean, I think they have. I think they already are on that trajectory. I
Yeah.
just don't see them without Saban. I don't see them being as dominant ever again.
Yeah. All right. So for my most overrated of the year, I have Bronny James, who was actually drafted into the NBA, which right there qualifies him in the discussion for overrated.
Good one.
Certainly should not have been drafted. Only was drafted because his father, LeBron James, told the Lakers to draft his son. Um, he has started to play a little bit better in the G League, but even after um, being, dropped down to the G League, which what an absolute joke that he was even on an NBA roster. Um, after his first several games in the G League, he was rated like 360th out of the 364 players in the G League. He has kind of turned around a little bit lately. He's been playing a little bit better. Um, but here's somebody that was probably, I think he was maybe a four-star recruit in high school. Probably shouldn't have been. McDonald's All-American. Probably shouldn't have been. Played at a Power Five school in USC. Probably shouldn't have been. Got a few minutes here or there on that USC basketball team. Probably shouldn't have. And then got drafted after one season with hardly even playing at USC. Definitely shouldn't have. Made an NBA roster. Definitely shouldn't have. And then played in the G League. And I think you could argue if he's even good enough to play in the G League. So my most overrated, Bronny James.
I agree.
All right, so I'll go first. You guys both went first so far. I'll go first with this next one. This is the 2024 moment of the year. And as a longtime Michigan athletic supporter, I have to go with the Michigan football team winning the national championship. Technically, that was the 2023 season, but the game was played in January of 2024. So in the last calendar year, 2024, my moment of the year, Michigan football winning the national championship. Uh,
Can't beat that.
yeah. Big Mo, why don't you go ahead with yours?
Oh,
Got to hold on to something.
man.
Yes.
Easy over there. Top moment, huh? Top moment. Yeah, I was trying to think of something from the Olympics. Olympics are always fun, right?
Yeah.
Biles.
A little sign, yeah. I was going to go something with Biles, and I said, you know what? You know what's been just what was great during 2024 was watching this Travis Kelsey Taylor Swift.
Oh God.
What a great moment that was. Just watching all that interaction between the both of
Oh,
them,
I
and
gotta
actually,
go.
here I will say this: what's come of this a little bit has been the the growth or like the surprise of Kelsey's brother.
Yeah.
Come like now he's got his own like Tonight Show coming on here, right?
Yeah.
And his wife has got a podcast that's growing. It's almost maybe the best the moment of the year might be the Kelseys. They've taken over,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it might have been all helped by Taylor Swift.
Could have.
And
It could
Travis
have.
is having like the worst year of his career.
Yeah.
Probably
That's the thing
it's
is
the worst, but his best.
Yeah.
I could see him retiring um, after this season, but then having a career going forward that parallels the success that he had in the NFL just because of how popular he's now become.
Yeah.
So I'm going with two there. Obviously, sports wise, Biles in the Olympics was amazing. Probably, not that we watch gymnastics a lot, but I think for the Olympics, competing against the world, pretty amazing. Um, but then I had to throw in there just all this Kelsey Swift stuff was what a year.
All right, Trent, what did you have for 2024 moment of the year?
My moment of the year was the random white guy on Oakland who hit 10 threes against Kentucky in the NCAA tournament.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
Golke, I think.
yeah, did
So,
you
did you
see?
see him last
Yeah.
night or 2 nights
Yeah,
Bucket.
ago?
No. What, is he still
Oh, G
playing?
League.
Oh,
G League. He just went off.
he's in the G League?
Oh, yeah.
Only just recently, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, when he
How
came out
many
and
how many threes
busted
did he hit the
Kentucky.
other night, Curt?
six or seven.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he came out and busted Kentucky for 10 threes, that I think that earned my moment of the year.
That's a good one. I like that. Yeah.
Well, we're all shooters, so we can really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, being he's like an underdog and the moment of the year.
True. No, true.
That was
Um,
like a 3 seed versus 14, I think, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. They were 14 and they beat the mighty Wildcats of Kentucky.
Yeah.
All right, Trent, back to you to go first.
Okay.
24 Coach of the Year.
Ooh, coach of the year. This is tough because I just want to say Dan Campbell just because that's the easy answer.
Sure.
But I think I got to give credit to the Vikings coach, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Um, I thought they were going to be bad, as I said earlier, and they are not bad at all. So I think I got to give credit where it's due, and I think he has. If they beat the Lions, I think it's a toss up between those two for Coach of the Year, between Campbell and then the O'Connell guy from the Vikings.
Yep.
I think he's just put together a pretty good season for the Vikings and kind of surpassed any expectation probably anybody had of them. So I think he's earned that a little bit.
Fair. Fair. Very fair. Big Mo, what do you got for Coach of the Year?
Coach of the year. I gotta be honest here. I was thinking one, and I just think I'm gonna switch my
You can't say yourself.
Now I was just gonna say that you can't pick yourself, Big Mo.
easy, easy. Say it in my own head. I was leaning towards Danny Hurley. Danny Hurley,
I thought I considered him.
Is that the
and
UConn guy?
obviously, what's that?
Is that UConn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously they had a great year. They won the national championship. He's um, always has what's a Mike moment. Like always, just has something you catch that's either you probably love him or you hate him, but you love listening to him and you love catching his sound bites.
Yeah.
Um, but what was I gonna? I was leaning towards, and I'm not an NBA guy, but is anybody who can catch in the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good. They're
Um,
very good. Who's their
yeah,
coach?
Kenny Atkins.
Hmm.
I'm trying to figure out how to say that.
Not Beeline, is it?
Oh,
Atkinson. I think Beeline does help out.
Oh, does he? I think
Like a
wasn't he
personal
there for a
like a
couple
player
years?
development coach or something like that, maybe, or a
They called him.
consultant.
Then he
Or did
called
he
him a
do
bunch
that?
of thugs.
yeah. He
Did he
was
do
he
that at
was
some point?
he was head coach for part of a season.
Beeline was? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, they've got like the best start
Yeah,
um, since the LeBron James era there. I think they only got like 4 losses right now.
28-4.
Yeah. And I think they were awful last year, were they not? Or am I way mistaken?
I think they were 5 seed, maybe.
Okay, so they weren't awful
They
last year.
weren't terrible, but they were
No.
like they were the team that had young talent that was like, oh, they could be pretty good in a few years. But if maybe this year was the year that they became really good.
Yeah, they're playing well, and I think they play hard.
Yeah,
So I probably shouldn't give both a shout out, but in my head I was going Danny Hurley the whole time, and then I think I saw something last night about the Cavaliers start, and um, and that's pretty amazing in the NBA to be that. I mean, I know um they've got one stud on the team, at least like name wise, recognition wise, I think.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can name too many other guys on their roster. Um, so Danny Hurley, Kenny Atkinson, we're going two there, Coach of the Year.
No, John Beeline actually works for the Detroit Pistons, and
Oh, is that
um,
what it is? Okay.
yeah, because I heard him. He was on a guest on the Huge Show a few days ago, and he was talking about the some of the Pistons stuff. So
Ooh, how about? I mean, I don't. What a surprise they've been, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
We'll take it.
I mean, they just got was it Mike or who's the Sacramento coach fired?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Mike Brown,
Mike
right?
Brown.
Yeah,
I
Mike
mean,
Brown.
it was after their loss against the Pistons in OT.
Yeah.
Or I don't even think it didn't go to OT. It was the 4-point play.
4 point.
He
Yeah.
got fired the next day.
Yeah.
and, and the Pistons have beat the Lakers twice, haven't they?
Yes. Yeah.
The
Yeah, they're
Stones are
not
back.
bad.
The Stones are back.
They're currently the 10 seed.
No,
Nice.
they're not quite back.
They're not all the way back, but they're more forward than they were.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, my coach of the year is going to be given to Coach of the Year award is going to be given to actually someone on our podcast, and that's Trent Windemall.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean Trent Windemall is a guy that at a former school that he coached at, he was an assistant coach, held the program together twice after coaches had left. A guy that puts in probably more time than a lot of head coaches, and is a guy that is beloved by his players and the parents. And Trent is a guy that, unfortunately, the school that he was at um, wasn't able to keep him around, and Trent has moved on to a new pasture and is doing the same type of things that he did at his old school. So Trent Windemaller is my year. Congratulations, Trent.
Thank
Uh,
you, Curt.
I'm getting Attack the Rack Coach of the Year award from myself.
Appreciate it.
Way to go, Trent.
Thank you.
Big Mo, got to give you props too. I mean, last night we're watching the Lions game, Monday Night Football, big game, and what's Big Mo doing while he's watching? He's breaking down game film.
That's right.
A couple of coaches here, part of the Attack the Rack YouTube channel, that put a ton of time into their craft.
Grind never stops.
Grind never stops. All right, guys, we got one more award to hand out here, and that is the surprise of the year. And Big Mo, I think we're back to you.
Oh, I'm going to say you go first, Kurt.
Well,
I'll go. Let me go.
you can go. Yeah, go
All right, Donald Trump.
ahead.
Jeez.
That's my comeback surprise of the year. Counted him out for 4 years.
Are you really surprised though?
No,
Right?
because I have a functioning brain.
Exactly.
So
But I can see where the surprise comes, because if you believed all the
yeah,
the lying negativity in the media,
for
then you
sure.
led to believe that he would not have won. So
And you get shot at, and like people are trying to kill you. They try to put you in prison. They do all that, and you still. Well done, my friend. Well done.
All right, my surprise of the year is the Detroit Tigers Major League Baseball team. After I forget all the stats, but mid-August they were um
Oh
like
yeah, they were bad for a while.
what mid-August, what were they, they had like a 0.1 chance or something crazy like that of making the playoffs.
Yeah,
And they just went on this incredible tear. They made the playoffs, and they not only made the playoffs, but they won a playoff series. So
they did.
quite a surprise for Major League Baseball.
Yeah, a lot of people are currently unhappy with the Detroit Tigers, but
Sounds like they're not willing to really spend a lot of money. Is that the issue, or?
yeah, they're not making any moves. They got who they pick up? They got somebody from the Yankees.
Oh
God,
yeah.
I'm brain farting on it.
Third baseman.
Who'd they get?
I think it was a third baseman.
Glaber Torres? Is that who it was?
That's not who I'm thinking of.
I don't know, but they did get somebody, but it's like kind of a meh kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they should be trying to get probably a couple more big names in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is people are a little upset with the Tigers at the moment after they kind of had a great second half of the year. You would think there'd be some momentum to them making some moves. But yeah, we'll see if we can add some pitchers still or not. But this for them to do what they did this year was pretty sweet.
Yeah. So it was Gleyber Torres. He's actually a second baseman, not a third baseman.
Second, and it's only a 1 year deal,
Oh,
and we're
gee.
still sitting on Baez's contract, so we're in a weird, and we don't want to pay Scooble. So I don't, I don't know what's really going on. Somebody's got to fork over some money.
Frustrating. So frustrating. Because they got such a great core of young players,
Yeah,
and such a fun team to get behind, and you want to now see them grow.
yep.
It doesn't sound like I mean,
Even add like a. Sometimes those teams do like they get the veteran guy who's won before,
yeah.
and then he's kind of like the clubhouse guy, but he can play as well, like like Albert Pujols on his third team,
Yeah.
like that type of guy.
And they obviously they need starting pitching, and the
Yeah,
way that AJ Hinch managed the pitching staff ended up, working for that small portion of a season. But I don't think that that's sustainable over a 162 game season.
yeah, I don't think it was like a long term. I don't. And the starting pitcher role has changed over the years. It used to be like go as long as you can until your arm falls off, and
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, we're gonna get if you can go like 4 innings, then we're in a pretty good spot. So it's almost like we need to find some really good guys that can go 3 or 4 innings at a time and see if we can just load up on those guys rather than pay like 400 million for a starter who we see once a week.
Yeah.
Maybe some money ball aspect towards it, but if we don't
Uh,
want to spend money, it's probably worth a shot.
all right, Big Mo, what'd you come up with? What was your surprise of the year?
Well, I'm not sure, again, surprise wise or not, but I mean, I think who would have thought, Curt, Trent, in 2024, how much we would have just discussed the WNBA.
True
And
statement.
I'm gonna, I'll give a shout out. I enjoy watching it. Not always. Again, I think it's growing. I spent what was it? Maybe Sunday evening. I watched Michigan play USC women's NCAA basketball.
Yep.
Juju, whew,
Yeah, she's good.
she is tough.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think there's some great players coming that'll be in the draft this year and following that. So I mean, who would have thought we would have spent some podcast 40 plus minutes talking about the WNBA?
Unreal. Never would have guessed
And
it.
so yeah, so there's my
It was
surprise
like a
here.
every episode type thing for a while.
It was. It was.
Yeah. And some of that just had to do with because it was one of the
Not
openings
worse.
really cool in the summer. I mean, we did have the Olympics and you do have Major League Baseball, but there's not a ton else going on. So, part of it was that, but it ended up working out well, and it was great discussion. It was fun to watch, and what's going to be interesting to see now, does some of that wear off after just 1 year, or like you said, Juju's only a sophomore. I don't know if she'll, you
She'll
know,
probably go.
uh, you know,
Well, yeah, and she probably again, but those, they're
But that,
probably she's probably going to make more money staying in college,
yeah,
at least for another year or two, just because of
yeah.
NIL stuff. So, we might not get to see those players quickly, but I think what's the
Beckers.
well, where's the new team? Um,
Well, who's got a new team?
there's a new WNBA team. They
is
just
there
did an expansion draft. Uh,
is there only one new team?
I believe it's just one right now.
Okay,
This upcoming year.
yeah.
I cannot think of where they're starting at.
I think while Trent's looking that up, Juju, like you said, she can maybe make more NIL versus WNBA, but I mean, a majority of her income is probably going to come from endorsements either way,
Yeah.
um, or what she does on social media if she's into that. I don't know. So, I mean, it probably ends up somewhat evening out with her income. But yeah, I mean, just if you want to look at just that, what does she make, as a lump sum of NIL money versus a salary in the WNBA? Yeah, true. The NIL lump sum is probably more. But when you factor in like all the endorsements and um, it might not end up being that big of a factor. But my point is, if she does come out and then you add Paige Beckers as well, I mean, it could be. I think that's what the WNBA needs because I think they do need to build on something, or else maybe that excitement of year one of Caitlin Clark maybe kind of, I don't want to say fizzles out completely, but maybe you don't get excited about it because it's not as new and exciting anymore. Um, but I know I'm looking forward to the season. When does it start? Usually around Memorial Weekend, roughly.
Around the middle of it.
May 16th.
Okay, so a couple weeks before Memorial Weekend.
It's the Golden State Valkyries.
Yep.
Oh, geez. A what? What are they called? A what?
The Valkyries? 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 I
Do
don't
we
know
know
what
do we know what that is?
I don't know. I don't know what a Valkyrie is,
Jeez.
but it looks like a
Is it like a bird with wing or like a dragon with wings?
it kind of looks like a butterfly in the logo, but they have the Golden Gate Bridge in the logo.
Okay.
I don't know, super creative, but
Okay.
what is a
Isn't
Valkyrie?
it isn't it like a winged angel or winged warrior?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Um, but here's the thing. I mean, here's they've already sold out season tickets for
Wow.
their upcoming year. Yes.
Holy cow.
Who did?
I believe that the Valkyries, I believe
Really?
they have sold out season tickets for this upcoming year.
Okay.
Wow.
Good
Good for
stuff.
them. Yeah, it will be exciting when you get like the Juju Caitlin Clark matchup, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
That will be probably some of the highest ratings out there. Or when Becker's or Bucher's, whatever her name is, she's pretty good too.
Yeah.
But
Um,
who knows? They probably make millions in college.
Yeah. I mean, UCLA right now, women's, I think it's the top team, and they've got like that Kiki Rice,
Oh yeah, she's good
who
too.
was really good too. And I
Yeah,
Notre
think
Dame has a
they're
player
really
too,
good
don't
on that
they?
team. What's that?
Notre Dame has a player too, don't they?
Oh yeah,
Doesn't
Notre Dame's, yeah, their guard. I just watched that game the other day because they whooped on somebody. They whooped on like Clemson, I think it was, or something. But
okay.
um, yeah, so big surprise of the year for us.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That was a good big surprise that we talked about it all summer long on the channel here. So all right, guys. Well, that'll wrap up our 2024 Best of Awards. Hope everyone enjoyed that.